What's going on, everybody? Coach Rob here. Diamond Discussions Unfiltered. Um, Coach Jace also here, grabbing us some something to crack because we just started and forgot. So there we go. Look, welcome back, everybody. This has been a great weekend. I spent it at work. But other than that, LSU comes out with a nail-biting college football win against Louisiana Tech, which they should have beat the brakes off of them, but Louisiana Tech secondary is fucking phenomenal. They have some LSU transfers. They have some great guys. Some other updates from college football. Florida can't beat FSU or FSU spelled backwards. They lost to USF this weekend. And we got Florida now. So game day was supposed to be in Baton Rouge, and I don't think it will be now because Florida.
It's not.
It's not. So I think it's going to be Georgia, Tennessee this weekend. What a great weekend for college football this weekend. It's going to be phenomenal. But we got baseball going on. We have a playoff race for the ages going on right now. Philly is playing against the New York Mets for the fifth time in 2 weeks or something like that. I forget what it is.
Yeah.
And they have a starting pitcher for the Mets, who we're going to get to. What's his name, Coach? Nolan McLean. McLean. And some Phillies news we're going to go over.
Yeah. Phillies take a hit again.
Yeah, Phillies take another hit, which they couldn't afford. But they're going.
Took two.
Well, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Another thing we're going to get into today would be what the fuck is going on with Los Angeles Dodgers right now.
Ooh.
And if you did not watch the Dodgers-Orioles game with Yamamoto pitching, pause this right now and go look up the ninth inning with 2 outs. And Jackson Holliday's up to bat.
Yep.
Just go look. Just please go look at it. Hell of an at-bat by a young man. I say young. Well, yeah, he's a young man. All right.
Yes, young.
He's hell of an at-bat from him. And then just watch the rest.
Yeah.
And then now you can press play.
And just shake your head.
And then just come back and listen to the rest of the podcast. And then you'll see what our opinions are on all that shit going on. But anyway, the first thing we're going to talk about today, if you listen to the last episode, you know that at the end of the episode, I told Coach Jace, hey, go look in the notes and see if we can talk about this. And he said, no, that's probably going to be a whole episode. Well, change our minds.
And he got very offended and he was very sad. And he asked before we started, he said, are we going to start with this or do we want to say? I said, no, we're starting with it. We're going to get it. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be the longest segment of this episode, but we're going to talk about it. So, Coach, go ahead and ask your question.
All right.
Parents get your kids get your parents' permission to listen.
Parents get your kids' permission to listen to this. But no, so check this out. So right now there is an abundance of teams that are struggling, and they have been struggling for years. Right now, you got teams like the Orioles that they were in the playoffs last year.
Yep.
And they've been kind of a force in the American League. But then you have teams like the A's, the Angels, the Chicago White Sox. I know we said we were going to refrain from that, but we're not. The Marlins, the Nationals, the Pirates, the Cardinals, the Giants, not really the Diamondbacks, and then the Rockies. Those teams, right? So my question to Coach Jace was how long does it take for these teams to get from last place or fourth place in the division every single year?
Yep.
Bottom half of the league.
How long does it take a rebuilding team
to get back to playoff contention, to be able to compete with, the Yankees of the world, the Royals, the Tigers, those teams? How long does it take those bottom half teams to get back? And there's certain teams that we can point out. Absolutely. There's certain teams we could say, all right, Chicago White Sox, man, that's going to be, 5-6 years down the road.
Yeah.
right? But then there's going to be like teams like the Angels where you think every year, like, okay, maybe 2 years, and then they do some dumb shit, and then all right, it's 5 years now, and then they do some shit. You're like, oh, okay, maybe 2 years, and then they do dumb shit again.
Yeah.
So it's just a never ending cycle. The Marlins are always that team to where they get players, and then they fucking have phenomenal seasons, and then they trade them away.
Yeah.
So is it ever? Is the answer for that team? Is it ever? That's the question that I'm asking, and you can answer it how you want. Obviously, I am just at this point. I just kind of I have a little bit of an idea, but I want to know kind of how far away are some of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing with all this is some of it has to do with luck. And look, you can break down everything, right? Because it starts with how do you draft? Are you drafting the right people? Right? A lot of teams, there's a lot of hit and there's a lot of miss when it comes to the draft. 1-1s aren't always Paul Skeens, right?
Right.
You
Don't
know,
get caught up in
one
4 or 5 months.
1-4s aren't always Wyatt Langford, where they're up in the same year helping that team go on a World Series run
Right.
and win it. Like a lot of it is luck. Um, and just to do a quick comparison there, 1-2 in that same draft was Dylan Cruz. Dylan Cruz ain't having near the career that Wyatt Langford has started to have
No,
yet.
correct. I mean, you look
So
at what was it? What was it, that video I showed you? The Angels. The Angels drafted in one draft. They drafted all pitchers, like
yeah,
20 something pitchers, and only one of them did something, and they traded him to the White Sox or some
yeah,
shit.
only one made it to the May. I think that was the 2020 or 2021.
It was an
And only
insane,
one's made it to the MLB so far, or something
right.
like that. Yeah, it's just a lot of it has to do with luck. A lot of it has to do with ownership. A lot of it has to do with just bad luck. Okay, like we love talking about the Angels and how much of a letdown they are all the time. Rendon and the injuries, Mike Trout being, when he's healthy, the best player in the league, the face of baseball for however many years he was the face of baseball. Obviously, he's not anymore, but let's just talk Angels here for a second, because Angels haven't been good in a long time. And it's kind of confusing as to why, but it's also just a bad luck team. Okay, you go out and Albert Pujols coming off of multiple MVP running seasons, signs 10-year deal with the Angels, and immediately falls off of a cliff. Nobody could have seen that coming. Okay, Albert Pujols is one of the greatest hitters of our generation, right? Nobody could have seen it coming. Immediately, just downfall. What happened there? Anthony Rendon, guys coming off of a fantastic career in Washington, was one of the top 5 third basemen at the time of the signing. He's been on the field for less than a third of the games he could possibly play so far in his Angels career. Bad luck. Years and years ago, they went out and they signed a Jared Weaver. They went and get a C.J. Wilson, left-handed pitcher. You had Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, that talent that you could almost say is wasted in the years that they had because they didn't have nobody else around them. The Angels, I will give the Angels this: they have tried. They have gone out and they have not been the Athletics where you don't spend money. They have spent the hundreds of millions of dollars to keep these guys around and try to make their team better. It's been a bad luck draw for the Angels over the last 10, 12 years, really since Mike Trout's been there. I mean, when's the last time the Angels in the playoffs? Mike Trout's only been in the playoffs once in his whole career. So,
Yeah, that
I
was
mean,
2015.
um, the last time was
What year was
oh,
that?
this is franchise names. I don't need franchise names. I need franchise freaking making it to the damn 2014. They got swept in the division series in
Okay.
the first round.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a team that has at least tried,
I
and
have
it's
the
just
stats
bad
on the
luck.
21 draft. The stats, it's unreal.
Is this the Angels?
Yeah. So the Angels 2021 draft, they drafted all pitchers,
Mm-hmm.
and two of them made it to the MLB but are on the IL. Um, Three of them got traded. Zero made it to AAA. Five made it to AA. One made it to the high A. One made it to low A. Four got injured and just never returned. Two got released. One retired. and then one was unsigned, and that was the 20th pick, and he went back to TCU for his senior year.
Hmm.
So this is they can't even. I don't know. You know how some people say, like, the famous saying is, you couldn't hit the red side of a barn, the whole barn was painted red,
Yeah.
right?
Couldn't hit water if you
Couldn't
fell out
hit
of a
water
boat.
if you fell out of a boat.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit that's going on with the Angels.
Yeah, it's just bad luck for the Angels. I mean, in all honesty, it's just bad luck. You have spent the hundreds of millions of dollars. You have gotten the players in their prime that unfortunately come to you and they just have fallen off a cliff for whatever reason that is, whether it's coaching, whether it's locker room mojo, whether it's morale, whether it's, a player saying, "Oh, I'm locked up. There's nothing you can do with me because you're not going to release me when I got 9 years left on my contract. You're not going to I got a no trade clause, so you can't trade me. Like, it don't matter how good or bad I do, I'm here no matter what." It could be that. It could be ownership just shits the bed, which we've seen already has put the team up the last 2 years and then pulled back on selling. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff for them, and but I don't think it's necessarily the franchise's fault. I think that they've done what they needed to do to try to put the best product on the field. It just hadn't worked out for them, and for whatever reason, whether it be injuries or guys just fall off a cliff.
You got to remember that this team used to be owned by Disney.
Yeah.
All right, the whole franchise used to be owned by Disney,
Mm-hmm.
and then they finally sold the team back to just an independent owner who was able to kind of get the ball rolling on this team. I mean, you used to have guys so the other day I was thinking of like guys who you saw play, they were household names, but they're not going to make the Hall of Fame, right? And I was just thinking about it. Cole Calhoun is one of them. He's in my opinion, one of the better Angels players to play for
Yeah.
one of the better guys to play for the Angels, right? Cole Calhoun's one of them. Remember, Josh Hamilton played for him for a little bit.
Yeah.
They signed Albert Pujols to a ridiculous deal at fucking 38 years old or whatever old he was.
Oh, he wasn't
And
that old.
I mean, he might as well have been.
No, I think he was in his 30s, but it wasn't that old.
It was late, mid to late 30s.
No, it was early. I want to say it was 31.
Oh, come on.
10-year, $240 million deal. Let's see how old he was when he signed that deal. 32. He went to the Angels.
Yeah, like I said, 38. So he was look, this Angels team, like you said, they try. They try. They try with Rendon. They try with Pujols. They try with uh, extending Trout or signing Trout to that big ass long contract. They tried with Otani. They've tried recently. They signed Kikuchi. Kikuchi's pitching for him now.
They've signed a lot of guys, right? I mean, recently, you got the Rendons of the world. He just ain't been on the field.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
it is what it
Rendon
is.
don't want to be on the field. There's a difference.
But I mean, he was a guy that was coming off of one of his,
A better season.
He was considered at the time of signing this deal a top 5 third baseman in the league. I mean, this is a guy that.
Do you think that's because of the Angels and not because of Rendon? Like, do you think the Angels turned Rendon into that?
I don't know, because I mean, he came off of that year at Washington. That was in 2019, his last year in Washington. He had a 7.3 WAR. He led the league in doubles, led the league in RBIs. He was an All-Star, and he was third in MVP voting, and he was a Silver Slugger. I mean, dude was a stud. Like, he was a top 5 third baseman in baseball. He was a top 10 player. Fuck you. You say he was top 3. He got third in MVP.
Yeah.
That year. Like, they didn't sign a 39-year-old Rendon hoping for his prime back. He was in his prime.
No, absolutely.
And whether it be COVID just really kind of took it out of him, he played 52 of the 60 games that year. That was his first year in LA with the Angels. And, and then after that, he hasn't done anything since. I mean, in 21, he played 58 games. He was a 0 WAR player. 22 played 47 games. He was a 1 WAR player. 23 played in 43 games. He was a .1 WAR player. In 2024, played 57 games. It was a .6 this year. Hadn't played at all. Age 35, and he's there for another. I think he signed an 8-year deal. So this is year 6. So he's there for another 2 years. on a huge contract that they can't do nothing with.
Right.
And it's the same thing with Mike Trout. Mike Trout's there for another however many years with 200 and something million still owed to him. You can't do nothing with him.
No.
And it's not take away from Trout, because when he's healthy, I think I picked him for MVP this year if he was going to be healthy the whole time. When he's healthy, he is the MVP. When he's healthy, he is one of the best players in the league. And it's just bad luck. I mean, this is what's different with the Angels versus a team like the Athletics. A team like the Athletics hasn't spent money on anybody. They gave out their biggest free agent contract this offseason to Luis Severino at 3 years, $66 million. That's their biggest free agent contract in their history. 3 years, $66 million. I mean, you're talking about an Angels team that gave Pujols $240.
Yeah.
They gave let's see what Anthony Rendon's contract is. I know I want to say it was like 8 years, but I can't remember the number of it. Come on, internet. 7 year, 245. I mean, just that right there, you're almost at 500 million between those two guys. And then you got the Mike Trouts of the world who, has a 12-year, $426.5 million deal. Like, they're not trying to not sign guys.
In my opinion, I think they're trying to sign guys too late, and they're too late in their career. Right? You end up having a Troy Gloss that played for this team.
Yeah,
but it was
his cards on the show this year,
and it was later on in his career.
Yeah,
you had. Don't forget that they signed Vlad.
Yeah,
Senior when he was 37, 38. Like
his card's the 20-year anniversary card.
Yeah, like
yeah.
And these guys didn't do bad. They signed a fucking, I'm not gonna say washed up, but a aging John Lackey.
Yeah.
Irvin Santana, fucking Jared Weaver. You mentioned,
they've had the names. The problem is it just hadn't worked out for whatever the case may be. It just hadn't worked out. But let's kind of stay on this topic because I know you got more teams you want to ask about.
Well, I wanted to talk about the A's, but you kind of touched about them. I want to talk just a little bit about them because we've mentioned them so many times. They're such a young team, they're gonna be good.
The arguments I've had on X,
right? They are going to be good.
But
the question is, Twitter. The question is, do they pull the Marlins and trade their fucking players away, or in Vegas in 28 are they in the playoffs?
I think in Vegas in 28 they're in the playoffs. I think it's sooner than that. I think it's 2027 is when they're in, right before they go to Vegas. But I mean, a lot of people freaked out about them trading Mason Miller. You traded a guy in Mason Miller, and I get it. Mason Miller is a stud. Okay,
You got guys,
but you got the best overall prospect in baseball. That's 2 years away in Leo DeVries. That is going to be a stud.
Tommy White, who's killing it right now, changed his swing completely, damn near.
Yeah, I mean, Leo DeVries is going to be an absolute animal, and you got him for another 10 years essentially for a guy that pitches one inning every other day, and he's good, but he hasn't had a great year this year. His ERA is like 3.5 or something like that, 3.6. Like, he hasn't had a great year, and now you got a guy in Jacob Wilson at shortstop. Leo can move over to second. Nick Kurtz is going to be the AL Rookie of the Year. Probably get some MVP votes the way he's playing. You got Tommy coming up. You got Lawrence Butler in the outfield. You got DH locked up in Brent Rooker, who's going to hit 30-plus homers every year and hit 280. You got Shea Langoliers, who's one of the best young catchers in the league, that's going to hit 20, 25, 30 homers. That's 8 guys. You go out and you invest this money because you don't have to invest it in the offensive side. You invest money in the pitching side now. They're going to probably trade Severino in the offseason. He hates it there. That's been known this whole year. He's talked shit about Sacramento. He won't be there when they move to Vegas. He only signed a 3-year deal. That deal will be up before they go to Vegas. They'll probably trade him. And you put some money into your pitching, And you're right there on the cusp right now. Athletics fans, the ABCs, Athletic Baseball
Yes. Club.
Club. I kept saying team in my head, and I was like,
Yeah,
that's
the
not
ABC
that's
Athletic
not
Baseball Team.
that's not a C. But the ABCs, man, you're close. You're really close. You got to put some money into the pitching staff because your offense is there. A healthy Jacob Wilson, a healthy Nick Kurtz, Brent Rooker doing what he's doing, Lawrence Butler doing what he's doing, Shea being healthy. I know Shea was a little hurt this year at the catcher spot, but man, you got a core five there that is really good, a really solid core to start with.
Very.
And then you got a guy in Tommy White really coming into his own in the minors right now. Gage
I know
Jump
we're mentioning LSU guys,
is your best pitching prospect right now, lefty who's in AAA now. And Leo DeVries again coming up in probably 2 years. He's probably 2 years away still. But that's your infield, and that's the majority of your outfield, and your catching's done. And you get Gage Jump to be a 2 for you, and you go out and sign a 1. Dude, you're that close. Like, I truly believe the A's are this close, and it's going to take a pitching staff.
They're very close, but does it happen next year? Does it happen this offseason?
No.
Right, to where they sign some money? Or do they wait till they get to Vegas?
They wait till they get to Vegas. They'll probably – my guess is they sign them in 2027, assuming we don't have a lockout. Do we get all the CBA stuff done? But I think the A's are close. You have to start investing, okay? Owner has been there since, 2000, I think. He hadn't put any money into the team. His biggest deal up until signing a free agent was retaining Brent Rooker. And then before that, which was last year, before that was Eric Chavez back in 2003.
Yeah.
Third baseman.
Yep.
Right? Like, that was your biggest deals that you've made since you've been owner. And
Chavez was a dog.
You've been trying
That's another
to push
one
the
where
team
I
out.
don't think he'll make the Hall of Fame, but I think he's recognized as a damn good player.
Yeah. You've been trying to push the team out of Oakland. You got them out.
Yep.
Now you're going to Vegas. All this is locked up, secure, done deal. Let's get there in 2028. Now you have to start putting money where your mouth is. You can't talk about and not do for 25 years. At that time, it would be 27 years. That 28th year, it's time to start putting money where mouth is, and it is time to rock. I hate you. It is time to rock and roll with this team because you have the core that every team wishes they had.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then look, I'm looking at right now a team like the White Sox, right? White Sox since the year 2000, including the year 2000.
Years away.
Well, but I'm saying including the year 2000, right? You 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've been in the playoffs 5 times. One of those years was 2020, where you played 60 fucking games and you lost in a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You came in third in the division. The next year in 21, you win the division, and you lose in the division series. You won a World Series in 2005.
Yep.
You also won one in 1917
with the late great Bobby Jenks closing it out.
Right. So, just looking at so on Baseball Reference, for instance, you have a list of the best players, the top player on the team per year. So when the year that they won World Series, they had Mark Burley, right? And then next year, Jim Thome, they didn't make the playoffs, but like they've had guys on these teams, but it's always been like 1 or 2. It's never been like, hey, we got a squad.
Yeah.
And you can't even draft correctly. Like it's
this
weird.
Team is years and years and years away. This team is nowhere near the playoff until 2030. That division's too strong. You got a team like the Mariners who are young and getting better.
For the wild card. Mariners not in the division.
I'm sorry, that's the wrong division. I'm thinking Athletics still.
Yeah. No, this division is up for grabs every year, except for the White Sox.
Cleveland ain't going nowhere. Detroit's the best in the division. KC is young and fun.
Yeah.
And the Twins, you just don't know with the Twins.
Well, the Twins just traded everybody. So the Twins are probably going to be bad. That's another team we can talk about. Twins is a team that we don't know what the fuck they're about to do.
But are they?
They just traded everybody away.
That, but you still
Byron Buxton standing in a clubhouse like fucking Will Smith and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with an empty house.
Lewis. You still got Byron. You got Joe Ryan, who's a Cy Young candidate this year. You got Pablo Lopez, who was a Cy Young candidate for a while.
What has he done for? What have you done for me lately? Baseball is a sport of what have you done for me lately?
Yeah,
Until you retire, it's a what have you done for me lately sport.
absolutely. But the Twins aren't going to be worse than the White Sox.
No, I don't think that.
The
But
White
how
Sox,
far are they away from getting back to the playoffs?
the Twins,
Yeah.
2 players.
Okay.
I really don't think the Twins are that far off. I just don't think that they've had a good year.
Well, they traded everybody away.
Well, yeah, that's because they're out of the playoffs.
Their whole team.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why doesn't every fucking team do that?
Because not every team is willing to part with people that have multiple years of control.
I don't know. Yeah, but I'm with you. This White Sox team sucks.
Let's talk about the O's. Talk about teams that don't want to part with prospects. The O's. You got more prospects than you know what to do with. You got more prospects than you know what to do with. They can't even find a place to play. And you're still holding on to them instead of going trade them for pitching. You make the playoffs last year because you had an ace in Corbin Burns on the mound. Now you're one of the worst teams in baseball because you let Corbin walk, which wouldn't have made a difference considering you had Tommy John anyway. But you let Corbin walk. You refuse to put any prospects on the board to go out and get a Garrett Crochet like the Red Sox did, who weren't a playoff team last year and haven't been a playoff team in a couple of years and are most likely going to make it with Garrett Crochet headhunting that starting staff.
Yeah.
You don't go get a Crochet. You don't go get a Joe Ryan at the deadline. You don't go get a Sandy Alcantara at the deadline. You know, the O's are a team that, again, whether it's bad luck, whether it's good fortune, whether it's bad front office management, which is what it seems like here, the front office has drafted so good, right? Everybody for the last 3 years, man, we want the O's prospect. We want the O's farm system. They got this guy and this guy and this guy, and the list goes on. Their top 10 would have been top 3 for just about every other team besides the Red Sox with Marcelo and Campbell and Rowe. But they would have been top 3 for just about every other franchise out there. And they held on to these guys. And now here you are, 4th place in the division, 5th place in the division, whatever they're at. I think they're last in the division right now.
Yeah, they're last.
You're last in the division on the outside looking in because you didn't go do anything to make your starting staff better, which is what everybody said was going to be your downfall this year, including myself at the beginning of the year when I picked them 4th in the division.
Not only are they last in the division, they're last in the league. They're last in the AL.
They got the worst record in the AL.
Mm-hmm.
They can't. The White Sox are in the AL.
That's what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about the O's.
4th to last.
Okay. But they are the worst in the AL East. Or they're 4th.
Let me go back to that. Yes, they are. They are. Yeah. At 66 and 77.
Hold on, you're really throwing me here.
The Rays are at 71 and 72. The Rays are 2 wins away from being a 500 team or above 500 team.
You know, it's one of those things where you have to part with prospects at some point to get your team better, especially your area of weakness.
So we're not talking about the White Sox anymore?
No.
Okay.
We've been done with the White Sox.
Sorry. I looked up their top 20. Well, so
we've been done with the White Sox since you stopped talking.
I know, but on Baseball Reference, right, you can go and you type in a team and it shows their all-time top 24 players. There are currently on this list, because they have pictures of everybody, and it's not names. You have to go over the picture to find the name. First of all, there is one guy with the fattest dip in I've ever seen in my entire life. That is Nelly Fox. But none of these guys play for White Sox anymore.
Yeah.
Some of these guys, I will say the over half of these guys are not alive anymore. And it's not because they died of an early cause.
Yeah.
It was all old age.
The White Sox haven't had a superstar in a long time. I mean, Luis Robert was your closest superstar, and he's been really bad the last couple of years.
There's also 5 of these guys out of the 24 that have a hat with the new logo on it. Like the new Sox logo.
Yeah.
Okay. And those guys include Frank Thomas.
So these are like the Black Sox gambling guys that were really
Shoeless Joe Jackson is listed at 24.
Yeah.
But like the rest of them,
there's no way they've had 23 better players than Shoeless Joe Jackson on their team.
They have Chris Sale on here. They have Chris Sale, Paul Konerko, Jose Abreu's on this list.
Dude, they're not better than Shoeless Joe.
Luis Aparicio?
No. Anyway,
Robin Ventura, the only man to get 50-something hits off of Nolan Ryan in one game.
50-something hits in one game.
Yeah, you don't remember the fight that they got into and Nolan Ryan punched him in the fucking head like a million times? You don't remember that?
Yeah, okay, but you
There's
said
there's a
50
there's a
hits,
stat.
so
Yeah, there's a stat out there that says
he fucking
the
headlocked them.
the only guy to it was like Robin Ventura got a hit in the first inning and then got like 60 something hits or something like that from Nolan Ryan's fist off his fucking face. Like it's crazy. It's funny. But yeah, been Frank Thomas Frank Thomas had a 68.3 WAR in his career.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Their top guy has a 77.2 WAR.
That's their top.
Yeah. Is
Wow.
it the lower the number the better?
No,
Oh,
higher.
higher. Okay.
Wow, that's really bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the topic of that we were talking about.
The
O's,
Orioles.
them. I'm gonna move to another team and just kind of talk about how it's a lot of luck of the draw. Back in 2021, the Braves lose Ronald Acuna Jr. to torn ACL, go on to win the World Series.
Right.
You take Acuna off of any other team, you're probably not that good.
And then was it also in 23? He tore his other ACL. It was 2 years later, wasn't it?
20. It was last year, and he missed some time this year.
No, last year he had a 40-70 season.
No, 2 years ago he had 40-70 because last year was Shohei. The year before was Acuna. Last year Acuna tore his other ACL.
Okay.
And he's back, and he's doing good.
Back again.
But I mean, here's the thing about it: you got
Acuna's back.
You got Acuna back.
Tell that friend.
You got Acuna back, and the Braves were a playoff team last year.
Yeah,
and now they're not. A lot of rebuilding has a lot to do with how you draft, who you sign, and who's coaching. Okay, a coach makes a huge difference in a locker room. All right, we hear all the time, "Oh, so and so lost the locker room," and a couple days later they're fired. When you got control over your locker room, and I talked about this last episode with Alex Cora and the Red Sox. Everything the Red Sox have gone through this year. Casas goes down immediately. Bregman goes down for 3 months. You trade Rafi. Now you got Roman hurt. Yoshida didn't come till fucking July whenever he came back. Like, it's just one of those things where when you got control of the locker room and those guys buy into what you're telling them and what you're preaching and what you're coaching and how you're managing, a lot of things can go right for you. And I just think that between that, how you draft, your player development, your locker room morale, how people get along with people, all those things play a big part into how teams can come back from being a bad baseball team for multiple years. Look at the Astros. They were bad for a lot of years, had a lot of good top draft picks in a row. And they saw themselves come back to being a World Series champion and a constant playoff and an absolute dog in the AL West every single year. And look at everybody that they've lost over the year. Correa's gone. Springer gone. Jordan missed most of this year. And he's, they're still in first place. Who's another big? Bregman, gone. Verlander, Scherzer. No, Scherzer wasn't there. Verlander, gone.
Yeah, but I don't know. Look, that Astros team is different. They're for sure they're different.
They have a winning culture. I mean, when you establish a winning culture,
they didn't for a long time.
Yeah, and they built through the draft.
They ended up getting Altuve, Springer, and Correa, and those three right there, just alone, them three. I mean, then you add Yuli to it, which Yuli was. I didn't realize how old Yuli was.
Yeah,
Yuli's 40 now.
Yeah,
like, I know. I did not understand that.
Yeah.
But that team, they were just special. Now I understand, yes, cheated, sure. You still have to hit a little fucking white ball.
Yeah.
You have to piece it. It's what they get paid handsomely to do, but
in my opinion, the way you find yourself back is you got to draft right, you got to develop right, you got to have the right coach, and you got to have a front office and a owner that's willing to spend money when it's time to spend money.
Pirates.
Exactly.
Pirates.
Pirates. I mean,
They're
exactly.
Pirates frustrate me because they're building through the draft, but by the time they're guys that, let's just put it like this: the Pirates have a staff. The
Yeah.
Pirates pitching staff is fucking phenomenal.
And next year when Jared Jones is back,
Starting pitching staff is
yeah.
phenomenal.
And next year when Jared Jones is back, and you're going to run out a top 4 of Skeens, Jones, Bubba, and Mitch Keller. Yeah. Good luck, everyone.
Yeah. Now
Good luck scoring.
You have to go find another Bednar.
But no, you got Dennis Santana.
Okay. Well, then you're good.
But good luck scoring, everyone. But
Right.
also, Pirates, good luck scoring because you don't have an offense.
Right. So I compare Pirates to LSU football this year. And if you are an LSU football fan, you know exactly what I'm about to say.
I am a fan. I've watched both games. I was there Saturday for LA Tech, and I have no idea where you're going with this.
I think if we put up 21 points a game, our defense will only allow 14 each game. You might as well just put it next to you. I didn't put another bag in. So,
okay.
Yeah. I also need one as well. But if LSU's offense scores 21 points a game, I think we'll go undefeated because of how good our fucking defense is.
This defense is stout.
It's fucking awesome.
Defense
It
is stout.
is amazing how good this fucking defense is. The Pirates, same boat. I think their starting pitching will not allow, if they could allow 1 run per outing.
If their starting staff could go 9 every single game.
If their starting staff could go 9 every game. And Skeens has done it. He's proved it. All 4 of those guys would be 1, 2, 3, and 4 in Cy Young voting. Okay. But it won't happen.
Oh,
it won't happen because baseball is not like that anymore. No. You can have a guy who's dealing and you just won't take him out, or you'll take him out in the 5th.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not the same anymore. Now also Skeens kind of had, I'm not going to say a rude awakening, but he had one of those kind of come to Jesus moments to where I have to pitch a little bit more efficiently, and he's trying, but these guys are big leaguers. They're taking big league takes. It's not like college. They're swinging at shit at their eyes. Some of them are, but those are the guys that play for the White Sox. So it's just, it's one of those things to where like
Can't argue with that.
He's up at 90, 92, 93 pitches in the 6th, right? As to where in college he was there in the 8th.
92, 93 pitches in the 6th, that's nothing. Old man Verlander, 42 years old, just went 5 innings, 121 pitches in 5 innings.
And he's great. He's a great, yeah. You tried to tell me that he has another year. He does not, bud.
Oh, yeah. He's coming back. He got another year. 100%.
Okay.
100%.
All right. Well, look, we don't have to stay on this topic. I just wanted to – I was thinking about this last episode, and I was just, man, this is – like I want to know – the Cardinals are my biggest question because I don't know shit about them. The Cardinals are – they're a 500 team.
Yeah.
They used to be good. They used to make playoffs. Did they win a World Series? Yes. Okay. Yeah. They won a World Series. They had fucking David Freese had a hell of a game. I don't get why they're not going after guys. I don't get why they're not doing shit that other teams are doing to get better. I think they're in the boat of they're trying. They're trying. But when you play in this division, you're probably going to get beat by the Brewers. You're probably going to get beat by the Cubs. And the Reds are going to put up they're going to put up, right? They're going to put up some runs. And if Skeens is on the mound and you're playing the Pirates, you might lose. But you might have a late inning comeback, a ninth inning comeback because their bullpen can't do shit. Yeah. So the Cardinals, I don't know. It's one of those things like,
I think the Cardinals are in a phase right now where you got some older guys and you got some younger guys, and they really don't know which way to go, right? You got Ivan Herrera at catcher, which is a great foundation catcher. You got Mason Williams at shortstop, which is a great foundation at shortstop. Dude's got the best arm in baseball. You got an old Arenado, which is really not old. 32, 33 is really not old in baseball.
No.
You got 9-time Gold Glover, but he's got a contract that they tried to move a couple times this
Has he won a
offseason.
platinum glove?
I don't know. I want to say yes. You got a guy like that. You got a guy in Jordan Walker that you were really expecting to come into his own over the last couple of years. He didn't. Remember 2 years ago?
10-time Gold Glover, 6-time Platinum
Oh,
Glover.
sorry, 10-time Gold Glover, and they were straight. They were 10 in a row.
Yeah, and 6-time Platinum Glove.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, and you got him. I mean, look, you went out and you signed Sonny Gray a couple years ago to a 3-year, $75 million deal. Miles Michaelis keeps getting the ball for some reason. I don't know, because he's horrible on the mound. They're in a phase where you got some older guys, some younger guy. You let Goldschmidt walk this year, go to the Yankees, kind of deal where it's like they're trying to shed money. You got rid of Helsley at the deadline to the Mets, but you kept Arenado. Like, they're just in one of those funky kind of we can make the playoffs, but we also have guys we need to trade.
Right.
And if we trade these guys, we're out of the playoffs. So do we want the playoff money, or do we want to trade the guys and save the money and let the young ones play? Like, they're just in that they are the definition of a middle team right now, because you got a choice to make, and really it has to be made in this offseason. Jordan Walker, you either got to let him go, or he's got to do something to be better and carry this team, because that should be a 3-4 hole hitter. I picked him 2 years ago to lead the league in homers, if you remember that at the beginning of the year. This is a guy that should be a 3-4 hole hitter, hitting 260 and popping 35, 40 homers a year for you, and he's not. Arenado's got 4 more years left on his deal, 2 more years left on his deal, whatever it is, and you're probably going to try to trade him again this offseason. You tried last offseason, it didn't work. Sonny Gray's gone after this year. Miles Michaelis is gone after this year. Fetty, who was your big White Sox trade deadline acquisition last year, you let him go because he was 1-10 as a starter for you this year. It was horrible. They're just in that middle phase. Like, do we go for it? Do we put money in and go for it, or do we not? And I think they kind of let the season up to the trade deadline dictate that for them. They're not going to do it in the offseason. They're going to try to trade the guys that they want to trade, get a little bit younger, save some money, be good in a couple years again. So I think that's where the Cardinals are. They got talent. You got a couple of good building blocks, but that team is not ready and they got off to a great start this year. They were leading the division for a while, but kind of fell off a cliff, and not going to make the playoffs this year. But
do they retire 4 and 5 in the next 5 years?
Do they retire 4 and 5 in the next 5 years?
The numbers 4 and 5, Yachty and Pujols. Do they retire their jerseys in the next 5 years?
Yeah, because they'll both be Hall of Famers and they'll retire them. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 5-year window from the time you retire to when you're Hall of Fame eligible. So in 5 years, Yachty will be in 4 years now he'll be eligible. And so yeah,
Yachty's been going on the dugout during games, and help coach kind of.
Yeah, he's like a special assistant or whatnot, and he's a head coach for the.
How special?
Wow. But anyway, yeah, Cardinals are in kind of that weird phase. All right, you good? You need more information on this stuff?
No.
How you draft, how you spend money, how you player develop, morale in the locker room, and coaches.
Yeah.
That's the key to how you become a playoff contending team again.
Oh, shit. I forgot to hit record. We got to do that all over again.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you. All right.
I know you are, because I'm right here watching my little red dot.
That's look. So now with that being said, right?
Talking about young players.
Talking about young guys, talking about developing and everything. This guy for the Mets is fucking dealing. We're watching the Phillies and Mets game right now, and Mets' new starting pitcher, who's an ace, Nolan McLean.
Acting like it, at least. 24 years old.
24 years old. Why don't you got him pulled up? I don't. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about him.
Dude, look, this is a kid that people have said he was on the fast track to the bigs. People that played in the minors with him. I watched a couple interviews with the catchers, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we could tell immediately this kid was on the fast track to the bigs." Just struck out right there to end in the fifth inning.
He didn't strike out. He struck a guy out.
Yeah, struck guy out. And watching him pitch so far, it's been impressive. I walked in, I turned this on immediately. We came back in, we were kind of talking about the topics, and I said, "Yeah, I want to turn this game on to watch Nolan McLean throw."
According to Baseball Reference,
Oh God, here we go.
his nickname, Cowboy Otani. I don't get it.
Yeah, no. But anyway, talking about him here for just a second. Mets third round pick overall, number 91, back in 2023. This guy made 5 starts so far this year.
He's in his 5th.
Not including this one. Yeah, this would be his 5th.
Yeah.
So
4 starts.
Yeah, he is throwing to a 4-0 record, a 1.59 ERA, 28 and a third with 30 strikeouts, and a whip of 0.85 right now. This is a guy that has brought life back into this Mets staff, and they've needed it. The Mets just optioned Kodai Senga to AAA last week. Kodai Senga was supposed to be their ace.
Yeah.
Sean Manaea is hurt. David Peterson has been real good for him this year, but they've needed that spark now in that staff. What a better way to get a spark when you get a guy like this and Nolan McLean who's going 5-0 against Philly to only 1 run. And he pitched against Philly just a couple of weeks ago, and he went 8 in that game, gave up none, had 4 hits allowed, 6 strikeouts on 95 pitches in 8 innings, was absolutely dominant. And now here he is again pitching against Philly in Philly at that. And he's 5 in with only 1 run so far.
You want to hear this stat? Oh, he was a relief pitcher at Oklahoma State. Played 3 years at Oklahoma State. In his sophomore year in 2022, he had 23 starts. Or I'm sorry, pitched in 23 games. He had 0 starts with a 4.97 ERA and a 2-1 record. His junior year, his last year at Oklahoma State, he had a 3.3 ERA in 14 games and 3 starts. And he pitched 30 innings and set a 3.3 ERA. And you go to his minor leagues, right? In low A, 2.7, and then in double A had a 4.19, and then went back down to high A and had a 2.57, and then started the season off in double A and had a 1.37, and then he went to triple A and 5-4 record in 13 starts with a 2.78 ERA. And now he's with the Mets. 4-0, 1.37 ERA, 4 starts. This kid is in 26 and a third innings too. I mean, he's allowed 13 hits, 4 earned, 1 home run, 7 walks to 28 strikeouts in 4 starts.
The kid's good, man. I mean, I want to go back to minors here.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
So that first year was in. All right, this is what I want to see. When did he get sent back down?
So he played with 2 teams.
Okay.
In 24. So went to. Oh, okay. Never mind. Nope, I read it wrong. He started the year off in high A, then went to double A, and that was his 2024. So he went, but with those teams, he only went 4-10. His record was 4-10.
Yeah.
In looks like 25 starts.
Yeah, 25 starts, 4-10 with a 3.78 ERA in those 2 things.
24, yeah.
And then something clicked for him this year, right? Something just
sticky stuff.
He starts in
rosin
double A
and sweat,
again.
bud.
Starts in double A, goes 3-1 with a 1.37, goes to triple A, 5-4, 2.78, and we've already talked about what he's done here. But again, this goes back to what I was saying earlier about rebuilding teams. Player development. They did something with him in the offseason. Some kind of training program, some kind of mechanical fix, something to get it right. Add a pitch here, make more movement on a pitch here. Something to get him right. And look what he's done since. I mean, this kid has been a spark in this team so far. And I tell you, this is my first time watching him. I've heard all about him because I listen to MLB radio every single day. And so this is the first time I get to watch him. And, dude, he's looked very impressive.
He looks good. He looks natural out there. He looks confident. He looks just kind of relaxed, right?
Yeah.
As you should be.
Looks like he's been there before.
Looks like he's been there before. He's already gotten his call up jitters out the way. And on the other side of the ball, you got Aaron Nola, who's actually dealing right now at 5 2/3, allows 3 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He's at 90 pitches right now. And he's dealing. He's about to get out the 6.
I mean, dude,
unscathed, unless that was not a strike.
Wow, that was way up.
ABS, we need you, bud. We need you.
I mean, dude, I just want to talk about who he has faced so far. He hasn't faced Athletics, Nationals.
No, because we looked at the Mets schedule. And it was fucking awful.
His first game was against Seattle. Goes 5 1/3 of 2 hit ball. Strikes out 8.
They can't hit, right, Chris?
Yeah. Next game at Atlanta goes 7, 4 hit ball, 2 earned runs, 7 punchies. Third start in August, Philly, where he goes 8. Like, absolutely dealt against 3 teams. Goes 3-0 in the month of August to a .89 ERA, 10 total hits in 20 1/3 innings, and only 2 runs given up. And then the calendar flips to September. Coach, guess who his first September starts again? The best team, second best team in baseball, the Detroit Tigers. He goes 6, gets the win, 3 hits, 2 runs, 7 punches in that game, and now facing at Philly and looking just super comfortable like we talked about. I mean, this kid looks like he was made for the moment. He looks like he is just absolutely the spark that the Mets needed in this starting staff, especially sending down Kodai Senga. Now you go into the postseason with this kid, David Peterson. Brandon Sprout is up now, and they got another kid, Jolt, I think, or Jung is his name. Not Jung, but his last name is Jung. Who's another kid that they are just raving about in their starting staff.
Related to Jace and Josh?
No, this is Jong.
Oh, Jong.
Yeah, Jong. Maybe. Yeah, something like that. But another kid that they're just raving about in the organization. So good for them. Good for him. Good for the Mets. Not a big fan of the Mets, but hey, good for them. They got some stuff really working for them, which is cool to see. So
earlier we talked about how Acuna tore one ACL and then a couple years later tore the other one.
Yeah.
So Trey Turner's having the same kind of problem. Yeah. But it's not with ACL, thank God. It's with a hamstring.
Yeah.
What was it? It was missed 6 weeks last year with the left hamstring strain.
Yeah.
And this year, he exits the game. When was that, last night? Last night, he exits the game with a right hamstring strain. Yeah. And right now, this dude is on fire. And this is not what the Phillies need at all. Because right now, they got Edmundo Sosa playing short.
Yeah.
And, okay. Like, so he's 1 for 2 tonight. He's hitting 275. He's not a bad backup, but he's not Trey Turner.
He's not Trey Turner,
right? And the Phillies need all the help they can get, especially right now because they don't have all their pieces.
Right.
They don't have everything right now, and it's gonna hurt them more than it's gonna help them. Obviously, they don't exactly have everybody there. I will say. Harrison Bader has probably the most luxurious mullet I've ever seen in my entire life. Harrison Bader's mullet is one. It almost looked like he's kind of trying to take after Jacob Wilson there, bud. Just kind of feet moving.
Got to get going, man. Got to get going. Dude, I tell you, look, losing Trey Turner is a huge loss for this Phillies team that is going down the stretch run. We've talked about how many times they play the Mets. This is it again. They got swept the last time we talked about them. They're up 1-0 right now in the sixth. And man, this is a loss. I mean, you're talking about the NL hits leader. You're talking about the NL batting average leader at 305. You're talking about a guy with 36 stolen bases, which is second in the NL, only to O'Neal Cruz at 37, and is fifth overall in the league right now. This is a critical part of this lineup and makes it extremely deeper. Instead of Trey Turner leading off, they got Bryce Harper leading off now. You know how much this shortens up the lineup? You take a leadoff guy in Trey Turner, and all of a sudden his backup and Mundo Sosa becomes your 9-hole guy. Like, this is a huge loss. This might be a bigger loss than Zach Wheeler to them because you got a guy in Christopher Sanchez and Robert Suarez, and Aaron Nola's look really good tonight so far. So maybe he's starting to hit his stride going down a stretch run. Like, they still got guys in the pitching staff that can do their thing and kind of hold them down a little bit. But to lose the hits leader in the NL, to lose the NL's batting average leader, to lose the second most stolen bases in the NL and fifth most stolen bases overall, to lose your leadoff, to lose your tone setter who's got 15 homers this year too, to go along with all that. This is a massive loss. And here's the thing. Even if he comes back, he's not the same guy because that single where he was stealing second and making it a double, he ain't stealing any bases when he comes back.
No, he's going to be nervous.
Well, not just that. You don't want to take a chance. The Phillies themselves don't want to take a chance on not having him for the whole playoffs. So, okay, you get a single, great. You know,
I don't think you bring him back. So you go look at these standings.
It just depends on how far you make it in the postseason. He's not coming back.
No. I'm saying, he's not coming back before the postseason. That's what I'm saying. I think you let him just ride this out. You're going to win this division. Right now, you have the second. You're going to get the 2 seed, so you're going to get a bye. You're not playing a wild card game as of right now. You're not playing a wild card game, unless you go on a snide here, which the Phillies are 7-3 in their last 10, and I mean they're continuing to destroy teams as McLean comes out the game.
McLean comes out the game at 5 1/3. 1 run, responsible for the man on first base. So another great outing right here. Look,
there's a trivia question here. So McLean is 4-0 in his first 4 career starts. Who is the last pitcher and the last Phillies pitcher? Last MLB pitcher and the last Phillies pitcher to win their first 4 career starts. So MLB is Chase Anderson.
Why does it have to be Phillies pitcher? He's not a Philly.
Yeah, I don't know.
That seems pretty stupid.
Oh, it's in Philly? No, it's in.
No, they're in Philly.
That could be why.
No, it's dumb.
Well, if you're watching the Phillies broadcast.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that's what we're watching.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I do want to mention. Can we talk about the resurgence of Harrison Bader real quick? Sure. Because this dude he's never hit over 300 in his entire career. Okay. But if you look at it, his highest batting average is before the season, 267. And that was, what year was that? That was 2021 with St. Louis. All right. It was his last year at St. Louis. Okay. He goes to St. Louis in 22, gets traded to the Yankees. This is a motherfucker who has played for 6 teams in his 9-year career. Mm-hmm. Okay. 6 teams in 9 years. Almost unheard of.
It's like Edwin Jackson.
Sure. But
Rich Hill.
Yes, Dick Mountain, which the greatest nickname of all time. But you look at this. So this year he started the year out with Minnesota. Mm-hmm. Okay. As we know, Minnesota traded their whole fucking team away. Yeah. Bader played in 96 games with Minnesota. This dude's an everyday guy. Yeah. At least the last 3 years he had. The last 2 years. He played in 143 in 24 with the Mets. Oh, and then this year, so far, he's played in 127. The year before that, he got hurt. He played in 14 games with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But you look at this guy. Okay, so with Minnesota this year, he was hitting
258.
a solid 258. So far in 31 games with the Phillies, he's hitting 302.
Yeah.
With a 376 on base percentage and 490 slugging and an 866 OPS. This dude is on a fucking tear. He just got a base hit up the middle. He is see ball, hit ball all day. He reminds me of a little bit older Jacob Wilson, right? Jacob Wilson, he gets up there, he's swinging the first fucking pitch. He's trying to hit something up the middle, he's trying to get on base. That's what Bader does. Bader has wheels too. He's going to steal bases for you. This dude is it's really a resurgence, I think. I think just with Bader, just with the presence of Bader, this team has potential.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a veteran presence in there. He's been on playoff teams. And this is a guy that when you enter a playoff race, it changes everything.
100%.
It changes everything. It changes your focus level. It changes your energy level. It changes every single thing about your season. I mean, look, this is a guy, he's never hit over 267, was his highest year back in 2021 with St. Louis. He only played in 103 games. And he was a Gold Glover that year, which you only play in 103 games. You just have to play in more than that to qualify, but whatever. He's on track right now between two teams, hitting 270 right now, and he's got another base hit, so that average goes up again. And dude, it's true. I mean, when this guy's out in the field, you know you can rely on him to make the play that's hit. When it's hit anywhere between left center, right center,
he covers a shit ton of ground. Center fielder called it off right there.
Yeah, get out the way. You know he's going to cover the ground. You know he's going to make the play, and you ain't got nothing to worry about.
He's gonna give his body up for catching that ball.
Yeah.
If it means that he tears his spleen in half, he's gonna catch the ball.
Man, I tell you what, that's a great segue into this last topic.
Okay.
Because Alex Call, we got issue. Alex Call, I think that's the one that was in right field for that play. The Jackson Holiday.
No, fuck that. Good job, Jackson Holiday. Hit the fuck out of the ball. If it barely goes over the fence, it goes over the fence. Now we can go back to talking what we started off this episode with. Listen to me. Fuck this Dodgers team. Okay. I do not care. I pray that happens every single game from here on out. The team that they're beating, or the team that they're throwing a fucking no-hitter against, only has 3 hits in the damn game and 2 runs, and that's because they end up walking it off in the fucking ninth. If you don't know what happened and you didn't pause at the beginning of this podcast to listen to what we had to say about
Still
this,
a chance to pause now.
Yeah, pause now if you haven't. But this is what happened. Yamamoto is throwing a no-no. He's throwing a no-hitter. They're up 3-0. He has pitched 8 innings at this point.
8 2/3.
Stop. He's pitched 8 innings at this point. He gets the first out. He's throwing a no-hitter. Holy shit, he's throwing a no-hitter. He gets the second out. Oh my God. Yamamoto's about to throw a no-hitter. Jackson fucking Holiday comes up and just swing the very beautiful swing. Just a very smooth through the zone, beautiful fucking swing. Hits a ball. And it's going to be a home run. But this is the issue that you have. The right fielder is looking to play this one off the wall.
Andy Pajes. Sorry, it wasn't Alan's call. It's Andy Pajes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You should know that. Pages. Old book.
Old book. Old book needs to go fucking read.
How many pages? All right. Yeah. I don't know. I agree with you that he should have tried everything he can do, lay his body on the fucking line and try to make this catch.
I got a no going, and you gonna play a ball off the wall. I'm coming out there and I'm gonna fight you.
Yamamoto is doing some taekwondo shit in the locker room after the game, kicking his ass.
I'm coming fight you because I just did this for 8 2/3, and you gonna watch a ball go off the wall instead of trying to climb that motherfucker or put your body through the wall. Dude, fuck you.
100%.
And you want to know what's wrong with this Dodgers team is that mentality right there.
Yeah.
A me mentality is what it seems like, because you're going to pull some shit like that when I got a no-no going. Not to mention, at this point, we done lost 4 in a row, including a sweep to the fucking Pirates.
Which is, thank you, Pirates, for doing something with your life.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, and this is how you're going to play the bottom of the ninth with a no-no on the line? Oh, bro, I'm coming out and fighting you. Like, we got some problem when you get back in the dugout.
Yamamoto did one of these, a fucking Karate Kid, whenever he got back in the locker room.
We got some problem when you get back in the dugout.
Dude, and look, here's my thing about it, okay? I think he tried to play it correctly? Sure. I think he tried to play it correctly if it was a tight ball game, right?
If it was 7-1 and I'd already given up a hit.
Yeah.
If it was 0-0 and I had given up a hit, you played it correctly.
Absolutely. You're
I
going
hadn't
to play
given
that
up
ball.
a hit.
You're going to play that ball against the wall.
Yes.
But he has, dude, Pages has to try. He has to try. Guess what? If he doesn't, that ball, if he tries and he misses, the ball's a home run. If he doesn't try, that ball's a home run. Why not fucking try? Why not try to go get that goddamn ball? It doesn't make any sense to me. It makes zero sense as to why he would not try to rob it. And even I'm watching it, like, because I didn't watch the game. I think, when was that? That was Saturday?
That was Saturday.
Yeah, college football's going on. I'm not worried about that shit. So, dude, he goes to look. Where's? Oh, okay. Ball's a home run. Dude, what the fuck? That ball barely went over the fence. You could have jumped 12 inches and caught that ball.
Dude, I don't understand.
I don't either. I don't either. Look at the one. Do you remember the I think it was in Colorado, and Puig jumps, you know, that big ass wall they got in right field?
Mm-hmm.
Puig jumps, the ball hits off the top of his glove, but like also the fence and ricochets and goes towards, and he throws the guy out at third base.
Yeah.
He gave an effort. Look, I'll give this. Yasiel Puig is kind of a piece of shit. And
he was so much fun to watch.
He was so much fun to watch play baseball because he gave 120%. I don't know how that math adds up. I still don't know how, but he gave all and some.
Yeah.
And that's what you want playing for you. That's what you want behind you. If I'm Yamamoto, I don't trust a single one of those guys now to fucking make a play. Except for Mookie. Mookie's the only one, because Mookie made some fucking plays in that game. And I think that was one of the final outs. Mookie made a backhanded grab.
There was no final out because they got walked off.
I'm saying the first, second out in the ninth. I think one of them was a fly ball to center. The other one, I think, was a Mookie backhand and throw him out. And it was like a quick play. It
was a strikeout and a fly out. It was 2 outs.
Never mind.
But dude, I mean, look,
I'm gonna go fuck myself.
And then it just started everything, right? You bring in Blake Trinan, gives up a double, hit by pitch, walk, and then you bring in Tanner Scott, who hadn't been good this year. Big free agent signing, 7-year, $62 million or whatever he signed for.
Yeah,
hadn't been good. He's got like a 4.6 ERA. He's blown 9 or 10 saves this year already.
Blown how many?
9 or 10 saves. Stop.
Oh. Okay.
And then Rivera hits the single to walk this thing off. You go into the bottom of the ninth, though, with a no-no going up 3-0, Yamamoto on the mound dealing, gets the first 2 outs. You think to yourself, all right, cool. Even if he gives up a hit, like it's just a hit, whatever. No. You take your foot off the brake because, you know, your teammate gives a shitty effort, and all of a sudden, walk, hit, ball game.
Yeah, it's, you know what?
It's just pathetic. You're starting September versus sub 500 teams with 3 versus the Pirates and 3 versus the O's, and in those 6 games, you're 1-5.
I just want to put this out there. 40-year-old David Robertson just went 3 up, 3 down with 2 Ks.
Yeah, dude.
That's fucking
Yeah,
I love it.
he's dealing still.
I
Man.
love it. He's still dealing, but
That cutter and the curveball, man.
fuck this Dodgers team because that's some chicken shit. And I know Dave Roberts isn't teaching that. Dave Roberts is one of the fucking. He plays the hardest. He probably could still go out there and run a 3.4 60.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
A
Is
three
that
four a 3.460 is
okay?
definitely
I was
possible.
hoping that you would catch that.
Yeah, it's definitely
Is
possible.
that fast?
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
Is that fast?
I mean, you might have to do it in like a fucking jet, but yeah, sure. 3.460 is definitely possible.
Okay. Maybe in a car. Maybe in my truck. Ram, 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 ram.
I think he goes 60 in 3 seconds.
Dude, look, I want
Not
to pull
0
up.
to 60, but if you got up to like a Hondo, you get 60 in 3 seconds.
Amen.
All right, what else we got, Coach?
Nothing. I did want to look up the Dodgers schedule for the rest of the year. So I know they have Colorado at home.
That starts tonight.
So they did end their losing streak. They lost 5 in a row. But last night they beat the Orioles 5-2. So now you got Colorado at home. You go to the Giants.
Yeah.
And then you got Philly at home. Then you got Philly at home. Or no, so you got Philly at home, then Giants at home. Then you go back-to-back away series, and you go D-backs and Mariners.
To close it. I mean, look, baseball is all about who gets hot at the right time. And if you're sliding right now, it's not the time to slide because the Padres are right on your heels at a game back.
Right.
And they're ready to take over that division. But, dude, you look at their last 9, it's against sub-5 teams, 500 teams. Arizona to close out the month of August, you go 1-2 versus them, which they've been playing good baseball, so you can't really blame them. Then you're at Pirates, Ofer, at O's, 1-2. I mean, you're 2-7 versus 3 straight teams that are sub 500. You can't go 2-7 in that stretch. You have to get wins. You have to know at worst, you got to break 500. You got to go 5-4 at worst. And now you enter a stretch where you can do some damage to the Rockies, 3 straight games, and then take a day off and kind of reset your bullpen and reset your team and fly to San Francisco and, see if you can get back on it in this last 2-week stretch because we know baseball is all about who gets hot at the right time. And if you're sliding, it don't matter how good and how deep and how talented your team is like the Dodgers. You will get beat by the team that's hotter than you. 2023. 2 teams that shouldn't even made the playoffs snuck in at the last minute, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. Wild card teams got hot, right time, right through the postseason into the World Series. They went. You get hot at the right time, and things can happen. And if you're cold right now, you got 2.5 weeks to turn it around if you're the Dodgers.
Yep.
And this goes for a lot of teams. Red Sox right now, ever since you lost Roman Anthony, you've been cold. You've done the same shit almost that the Dodgers have done. You just lost a series in Arizona 2-1. And the only reason you won the last one is because you came back in the 8th. Like, you better figure it out and turn it around in this last 2.5 week stretch. What we got? How many games we got left?
I was just looking at it. We got about 19 and 20.
You got about 19 games left. This Dodgers teams, you need to figure out a way to go. If you really want to get back to it, and you got some games right here that are very winnable. Maybe Philly is going to give you a matchup, and maybe the Mariners at the end of the year is going to give you a matchup. But you got to figure out a way here in these last 19 games to go 13-6, right? 14-7, somewhere around there to really feel confident. If you go 10-9, if you go 9-10, you're not feeling confident going into postseason. And by the way, 9-10 probably gets you into the wild card and not winning the division and getting the bye.
Yep.
So
now, if they were to be a wild card team, they would be the 5 because the Cubs would be the 4. In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if they finish like that, yes.
Yeah. So one more question, then we'll go ahead and close out. And it's really not a long-winded question. I'm gonna go through each division and say who's leading it, and I want you to tell me if that stays the same coming into playoffs or not. Okay. AL East, Blue Jays are leading. Yankees are in second at 2 games back, and Red Sox are 3.5. The other 2 teams I think are out. They're done.
Yeah, they're done.
who wins this division? Is it do the Blue Jays just stay there, or do the Yankees come back? It looks like the Red Sox might not. They might just stay a wild card team, but I think it's either going to be Blue Jays or Yankees at this point.
I think it sits where it's at. I think the Yankees are going to end up second, the Red Sox are going to end up third, and that'll be your first round wild card matchup.
Okay. All right. AL Central, Tigers got that?
Yep.
I'm with you. AL West.
Yep. Houston's going to keep
Houston's keeping it.
Yep.
Mariners barely make the playoffs.
Mariners make the playoffs. I don't think Texas has enough. Texas is only a game and a half back. I know the win-loss column, it's only separated by one game in the win column, but
7-3 in their last 10. Mariners are 4-6.
Yeah, but they're on a 2-game win streak. I think the Mariners have enough. Their pitching staff's getting healthy at the right time. You still got Kyle, you got Gino, you got Naylor.
Where's Castillo? Is he healthy?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
because I hadn't heard shit about him all year.
Yeah, it's a very average year for him.
Okay,
and I think Texas they're looking good, even though they're really figuring out all these injuries that they've had. We talked about them last episode, but yeah, I think Mariners sneak into the wild card in that last spot. Yeah, and Royals and Guardians are playing right now, so that's going to really do something with that second the second tier of wild card teams that's on the Rangers' heels.
Okay.
Brewers locked that up.
NL side. All right, so Central. We'll start with Central. Yeah, Brewers win the division. That's plain and simple. NL East. Phillies.
Yeah.
Phillies got it.
Yeah,
they stay
got
there.
A 6-game lead right now.
7.
Yeah,
they got a 7-game lead against the Mets
with 19 to play.
But no Trey Turner, no Zach Wheeler, no. What do they?
But you win this game, you take a whole nother game. That's 8. And then you figure out a way to win this series. I think this series is a 4-game set. So you go 3-1 or even break even at 2-2. Whoop-de-doo. You still got, you break even at 2-2. You got 15 games left in a 7-game lead. That's going to be really hard for the Mets to come back.
Okay. NL West. Did the Padres come back?
Yeah, I'm going to say Padres do come back. Yep. I think so. With their game back right now, I think
both of these teams are 3-7 in their last 10.
Yeah, I think the Padres are getting healthy at the right time. The Dodgers are also getting healthy at the right time. Padres activated Michael King today off the IL. So I think that's going to give them a little boost in that division. And, dude, I don't like the way the Dodgers are playing. I mean, I just don't like it. And I think that the stuff that happened this weekend that we talked about with Yamamoto and Pajes is just going to really bring the morale of that team down and really bring the trust down and the locker room down. So they got to figure it out. They got to figure it out right now. A guy like Mookie, a guy like Freddie, who's been there, who's got the leadership, who's, they're all championship level players, obviously, from last year, but you got guys that's been there a lot more in Mookie and in Freddie than anyone else on that team. So you got to take control of that locker room and figure it out. But I think the Padres do end up taking the division.
Okay. So you think the AL wild card is set? Yankees, Red Sox, Mariners.
Yes. Yep.
That's it. In that order.
Yep.
Okay. NL. So if you think the Padres win that division, right now, as it sits currently, the Cubs have a better record than the Dodgers.
The Cubs would be the 4 seed.
Cubs would be the 4. Dodgers would be the 5. Do the Mets stay? Or do the Reds get in?
No, the Mets stay. I think the Reds are too far back.
Giants get in because
No.
they're both 4 games back.
No.
Diamondbacks 4.5. St. Louis Cardinals 4.5. Okay.
Nope.
All right. So every team that is currently in a playoff position makes the playoffs.
Yep.
We shall see.
What do you think? And then we'll
close out. No.
You're in?
Are
you in?
I think I'm in. The only team that I could see the Mariners losing some games. I could see the Red Sox losing some games. I think I'm with you on the AL leaders, the Blue Jays, Tigers, Astros. I'm with you on that. I see the Yankees getting in because they're the Yankees. But you have the Rangers at 1.5 games. You have the Royals at 2 games, and you have the Guardians at 2.5. I think everybody from the Rays on down is out.
Yeah, and again, Royals and Guardians are playing right now. They got let me make sure this is a 3-game set. They got a 4-game set going on right now, starting with game 1 tonight.
Right.
And then you pull up Cleveland. I got Kansas City's schedule here. So you got a 4-game set at Cleveland, and then you go at Philly That's a tough 7-game stretch on the road with no days off in that stretch.
Cleveland is up currently 10-0 right now.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the who am I on? The Royals. So you got Cleveland for 4 at Cleveland, Philly for 3 at Philly with no days off. Tough 7-game stretch. You get a day off on the 15th, and then you got Mariners, Blue Jays at home for a 6-game stretch. That is difficult. A Mariners team that'll be fighting for playoff life, a Blue Jay team fighting to lead the division, a Royals team fighting for playoff life. This is a tough 15. No, that's not 15. How many games is this? It is 15. 14-game stretch for them coming next. And then you close out pretty easily. You go to the Angels, to the A's to close out. So if you can stay afloat, you can possibly do some things, but I just don't see it, man. This Guardians matchup here that they got, and then Philly, you can find yourself 7 games back by the end of this week.
Okay. So Cleveland, 4 games set against Kansas City at home, and then they go 3 against the White Sox, day off. Pretty easy.
A lot easier than the Royals.
But then you go.
How do they close it out?
You're in Detroit for 3. You're in Minnesota for 3. And then you go home, and you go home against the Tigers for 3. And then you're home against the Rangers for 3 to close it out.
And the Twins is 4. They got a doubleheader on Saturday.
Yes, very true.
So you're playing 4 in 3 days.
Right. So they don't have a. I mean, it's not.
I'm going to say I'm leaving it as it is. They're not getting in.
I think both Kansas City and Cleveland win and lose the same amount of games to where it just keeps them where they're at. Yeah. So I'm with you on that one. Now Texas, on the other hand, the Rangers could do it. Depending on the Mariners. It never fails. How long have we been doing this fucking podcast? This is year 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Every year, what do we always talk about? Who's always like last to fucking be in or out at the end of the season? At the end of the regular season, Seattle. Seattle is always.
It comes down to the last game.
It comes down to the last fucking game every
Yeah.
single goddamn year,
Yep.
and I don't understand why. But it is what it is, and so this is what we're having to deal with. The Mariners. I did want to pull up theirs, and then we'll go ahead and close it. Seattle Mariners schedule.
Hey, we have a no-hitter alert going right now.
Who?
Slade Ciccone.
4.
It's a great question. I don't know. That sounds like the Guardians, actually. I'm pretty sure that is the Guardians.
Oh shit! Yeah, it is 10-0.
I'm pretty sure that is the Guardians. Let's throw them on. See what happens. It's in the 7th. I'm not going to be here for the whole thing, but
Yeah, that's
we
fine.
can at least turn it on. Where are we at here?
Oh,
Cleveland.
damn! Look, it's the toilet bowl. Fucking Washington versus Miami.
Whoa. Big matchup there. Playoff implications.
Let's see what this.
The playoff of mid.
Yeah. Bottom.
All right,
8.
we're in the 8th. And you still ain't giving up nothing? Go ahead, ball. All right.
Well,
Slade
I got
Ciccone.
one more. Got one more to go. So the Mariners, right? They just won 2 in a row against Atlanta.
Oh, never mind. He gave up a hit last inning.
What the fuck, dude?
I was late, dude. ESPN's 6 minutes ago. I don't know what to tell you.
Jesus Christ! So we just turned a fucking good ass game off for nothing.
Yeah, we'll put it back on though.
Anyway,
That was a good game.
so look, so you
It's
go,
close.
Cardinals for 3, Angels for 4 for the Mariners. All right, Cardinals, Angels.
Yeah.
Okay, then you're at Kansas City. You're in Houston for 3, and then you go Rockies at home, and to end the season, Los Angeles Dodgers for 3.
Yeah.
So,
Always them, bro.
so Seattle again is going to probably be the team that we wait on. They're going to be 1 game back with fucking the season with 2 games left, and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate that they're
Poor
the team.
Chris.
I hear that. I know. I don't hate that they're just not in or not out. Like I hate that they're the team
Yeah.
that we fucking wait on.
Every year.
This is bullshit. I
Year
need
3 in a row.
I need them to I just need them I need to be a more exciting team.
Bryson Stott, what a play.
Dude's a stud.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. All right, Coach, go ahead and close us out, man.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take us out. It's been fun, as always.
It's been real, it's been fun, but it hadn't been real fun.
I think it's been real fun.
It has been.
Nice little play by Bryson Stott right there in the top of the 8th. But a lot of interesting things to look forward to, and we'll keep breaking down these races and talking about what teams need to do, who they played, how they fared, and next time we get up in here, we'll just probably focus strictly on that as long as we don't have any big news that's out there. Which, look, we could sit here and be like every other baseball podcast and every other talk show and talk about every single game for 3 hours. That's not what we do here. We've talked about this before. We're going to come in. We're going to give you the news of the week, the news of the couple of days that we weren't up in here. And we're going to break down that stuff because that's the big stuff. That's the stuff everybody cares about. To hear about every single game that's played, every single detail of every single inning is not what we want to do, and it's not what we're going to do. So we hope that you're enjoying this. We appreciate everybody subscribing. Follow us on all the things, Diamond Deck Discussions, D-Deck Discussion. Shoot us an email, diamonddeckpod@gmail.com. We'll be more than happy to talk about your subject, talk about your topic, answer any questions that you got. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. As always, I'm Coach Jace. That's Coach Rob. We are your boys with Diamond Deck Discussions, and we are unfiltered.